If you want to join the Marines and you're preparing to take the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or ASVAB, then you've come to the right place. But first, it's important to understand how it's scored because there are actually a few different scores you get from this one test. Stick with me and I'll explain it all. Welcome to the U.S. Military Test Prep channel by Study.com. My name is Dr. Steele. I'm a U.S. Army veteran and an ASVAB test prep expert. In today's video, I'm going to cover everything you need to know about your scores on the ASVAB, especially if you're looking to enlist in the United States Marine Corps. Let's start by breaking down the scoring system and interpreting the results. The ASVAB has 9 or 10 subtests. 10 if you take the computerized version, and 9 if you take the pencil and paper version, because that version combines 2 of the sections into one. You can find a video on this channel that gives more information about the paper versus computer versions. These subtests check out your knowledge in different areas like math, vocabulary, and mechanics. You'll get a standard score for each of the subtests. So what's a standard score? A standard score is basically how you stack up against the other test takers. An average score is 50, and the scoring system is built around that. 50 is your baseline, and a 10-point difference shows how far above or below average you are. So a 60 is above average, and a 40 is below average. It's that simple. Higher scores show off your strengths in certain areas, which can be a game changer for landing specific military jobs. You'll also get a percentile rank. This shows how your performance compares to others. For instance, a percentile rank of 75 means you scored better than 75% of standard test takers. Your standard scores are just the beginning though. After your standard scores have been established from your performance on individual ASVAB subtests, those scores are then grouped together to create composite scores, also known as line scores. The military uses those combo scores to figure out what jobs you're best suited for. Each branch of the military has its own way of calculating these because different roles need different skills. The Marines use 4 different calculations to come up with the Marine Corps line scores. The first one is mechanical. It's formed by combining your standard scores on arithmetic reasoning, mechanical comprehension, auto and shop information, and electronics information subtests. The next is clerical. This is made by combining your mathematics knowledge subtest score and your verbal expression line score. Your verbal expression line score is made by adding your word knowledge and paragraph comprehension results together. Third is general technician. This is formed by adding together verbal expression, arithmetic reasoning, and mechanical comprehension scores. And the final composite score is electrical. This is the result of combining arithmetic reasoning, electronics information, general science, and mathematics knowledge. Each military occupational specialty, or MOS, has a minimum line score requirement in 1 or more areas. Be sure to do some research on what score your MOS requires. Talking to a recruiter can be helpful because they can provide you with the most up-to-date information. Then you can really hone in on the subtests that require your attention when you prepare to take the test. Your Armed Forces Qualifying Test, or AFQT Score, might be the most important score on the ASVAB. It determines whether you can enlist at all. Each branch sets its own minimum score, so that's the bar you have to clear to move forward. The AFQT comes from a combination of your scores on 4 different subtests. Arithmetic reasoning, which has basic math word problems. Mathematics knowledge, which includes a variety of math concepts. Word knowledge, which looks at your understanding of vocabulary and word meanings. And paragraph comprehension, which measures how well you understand written materials. Your AFQT score is a percentile ranking, meaning if you score a 60, you did better than 60% of standard test takers. Now let's take a closer look at the minimum AFQT score you need to enlist in the Marines. You'll need a high school diploma or GED to qualify for the Marines or any branch of the military. The required score varies, though, based on which one you have. If you've passed the GED exam, you'll need to aim for a score of at least 50. If you have a high school diploma, the Marine Corps requires a score of at least 31. That's the minimum to get in, but a higher AFQT score opens up additional job options, potentially more career growth, and maybe even some bonus opportunities. So how should you actually interpret your scores? Here's the deal. If you're getting low scores in certain areas, it doesn't mean you can't join the Marines. It just might limit your options when it comes to certain occupational specialties. For example, if your line score in electronics is low, then a role in IT or communications might be a stretch, but you could still qualify for plenty of other roles. Make sure you review the score requirements for the specific job you're aiming for. Meeting with a Marine Corps recruiter could also be helpful. They can help walk you through the score requirements for different MOS options, help you understand what you're qualified for, and give you tips on how to improve if you need to. And if your AFQT score isn't at least 31, don't sweat it. You can retake the ASVAB. The wait time for the first 2 retakes is 30 days. If you need a third retake, your wait time goes up to 6 months. That wait time is your opportunity to study and improve, so use it to your advantage. Interpreting your scores really comes down to 2 questions. Are you eligible? And what specific job are you interested in? If you have a goal in mind, it's easier to make sense of your results and set a game plan. Don't stress if your scores aren't where you want them to be yet. I'm here to give you some steps you can take to improve your scores and position yourself for the Marine Corps job you want. First, pinpoint your weak areas. Take an honest look at which subtests are hurting your score. Next, study smarter. Spend additional time on the sections you struggled with. Look, it's no fun working on your weak areas, but you got to be willing to do whatever it takes to get the score you need for the MOS you want. The right study resources can make all the difference. Study.com's ASVAB test prep resources, for instance, can help with personalized plans and practice tests that will get you on track. A full 92% of users pass the ASVAB after prepping with Study.com. Taking a practice test helps you zero in on what you know and what you don't. Watch lessons to review material you're less confident in, and if you feel like you know a topic well, do some practice problems and quiz yourself. If you're still not there, go back and review the lesson until you know it well. A solid prep plan will boost your score. And remember, even if you don't get the score you need for the role you want, there might still be other military jobs that would be a good fit for you, so be open-minded. The goal is to maximize your strengths. And that's the rundown on ASVAB scores for the Marines. Whether you're just starting to study or you already have some scores you need to interpret, understanding what these numbers mean can help you begin your military career with confidence. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up. Drop us a comment with any questions or topics you want us to cover, and don't forget to subscribe for more U.S. military test prep. Stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next video. You've got this.